Joining me now to talk about Perry's comments on Social Security and the use of it as a campaign issue is Memphis Tea Party Chairman Mark Skoda and Brad Woodhouse, Communications Director for the Democratic National Committee. Rick Perry said anyone who wants to keep the status quo is lying to our kids. But I don't think anyone is actually saying that the system is just fine as it is. So, Mark, let me start with you. Did he just overshoot with this message?
Yeah, look, it's his first time out. I think he did overshoot. I will tell you, at the end of the day, we know that Social Security in its current incarnation is in trouble. We know that, for instance, disability pensions under Social Security are currently almost bankrupt. We paid $29 billion more this year in 2010 than we took in. So his point, while perhaps bombastic, is still no less important in the discussion. And I think when we look at the options to leave the status quo, which nobody, agree with you, no one is in fact suggesting, but ultimately there are better ways to fund Social Security. And I think Chile, for instance, is one of those countries we should look at.
Brad, what do you think of Perry's comments, and what do you think that the message should be?
Well, look, first of all, I think Perry's comments were absolutely wrong. He doesn't understand Social Security's finance, and he doesn't understand that, as Vice President Biden said, it is solvent for 25 years. For some 50 years after that, it would pay 3/4 of current benefits without any changes. No one's saying, Randy, that we shouldn't make changes to it, but it really is minor changes that need to be made. I mean, Medicare, as you know, is in worse shape than Social Security. But the focus on Perry, I think, has distracted from the fact that every Republican in this field, either because of their support for what was known as cut, cap, and balance during the debt default debate, or their just previous support for privatization, they're all for policies that would undermine, if not dismantle, Social Security. And, Randy, that includes Mitt Romney, who's trying to make a big deal out of Rick Perry's comments.
I want to call your attention to Rick Perry's op-ed in USA Today. It's titled, "I'm going to be honest with the American people." In that op-ed today, he does not mention the word Ponzi once. So, Mark, does it sound to you like maybe he's backing off that a little bit?
Well, probably so. Look, he in the heat of a debate, I suggest that his comments there were perhaps over the top. But let's look at it this way. At the end of the day, what he is trying to highlight is there is a problem here. And by the way, the current Social Security system is nothing more than $2.5 trillion of IOUs from the federal government, which itself is in the hole of $1.3 trillion a year. So somewhere the money's got to come from something. And there's insufficient scale of revenues in the U.S. Treasury today to even pay for that $2.5 trillion. So to the extent that he suggests that there's a problem here, yes, it's government authorized, essentially taking of those monies and using them in the general fund and replacing them with IOUs. Now, Ponzi schemes are illegal, but what the government is doing and promising, frankly, is immoral.
So, Brad, what is the answer here? How do you fix it?
Well, let me just say this, Randy. When it comes to Republicans or Tea Partiers or Rick Perry or Mitt Romney, their first solution for dealing with Social Security involves either gambling it in the stock market, and we've seen how the stock market's performed, or or cutting benefits. People have earned these benefits. They've paid into them. We're not doing them a favor by letting them receive their benefits. So we need to look at ways to tweak it. There are ways to do it, any number of ways to do it, including on the revenue side. But the first solution to deal with Social Security benefits shouldn't be to cut Social Security benefits.
All right, we will leave it there. Mark Skoda, Brad Woodhouse, appreciate your time. Thank you so much.